Hey, Ben and Amanda, I wanted to thank you guys again for taking over my Sunday school class. I am sending you kind of an outline of my lesson, and then I wanted to send you a little video just kind of explaining some of the things that I'll have you guys interacting with the students with. I will record myself. I will have a video lesson for them, so you just have to come and play that lesson. I kind of have three discussion things I want you guys to do. The first one's kind of an icebreaker. I try to do a fun game with the students, and it's kind of like an impromptu game. And what's going to happen is on the video, I'm going to set like a murder scene, a murder mystery, and there'll be all these little pieces of paper that I'll have up in the room on the music stand. Put them face down so the blank side is showing, and there's words on the other side. And what's going to happen is you spread them out on the floor, and I will talk about a murder scene. And what each student does, you guys can play too, is they pick up a piece of paper, and whatever word is on that piece of paper, that's how they have to formulate their alibi. So like, for example, I picked up a card, and the card says volcano. So in my alibi, I have to center it around a volcano. So like, I didn't commit the murder because I was busy avoiding lava spewing from a volcano last night. Something like that. One of you could be like the judge and decide whose story is the most believable, but you can have fun with it. This is getting them in the idea of guilt, because we're talking about what does it mean that for God to be with us in our guilt. And we're going to be in Romans 8:1, and we're going to be talking about what does it mean for God to be with us in our guilt, that we are no longer condemned. Therefore, there is no longer any condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. So we're talking about how God has sent his son, Jesus, to die for the weight of the sin of guilt. So that's another one of the interactive elements. I will have, and I'll say this in the video, but I'll have a random heavy object up in the youth room, and partway through my lesson on the video, I'll say, hey, someone pick up this object, and I just want you to decide or appoint a student just to lift up this object. It doesn't have to be crazy, but just so it's kind of uncomfortable for them. And this is kind of going to go through my lesson to the end where I'm saying, what Christ did, he came and took this weight. So if we're carrying around guilt, if we're listening to Satan, it's like we're carrying around this weight that we don't need to anymore, because Christ came to take the sin, to take the weight of sin, so we don't have to carry around that guilt anymore because Christ has taken that. And the third element is I want you guys to play kind of like a quick game of Simon Says, but I want you to be very particular with the rules. So, if someone doesn't do Simon Says quite quick enough, or they did it like, they did it with their right hand instead of their left hand, or something like really, really picky rules, kind of like a 3-year-old making up rules to the game as they go along. That's kind of what I want you to do as you're doing Simon Says. So basically, you're almost saying like only one person can win. That's showing them that God is in control, that he makes the rules, that Satan doesn't control us, that he is not in charge of our guilt, that he cannot paralyze us with guilt anymore, because Christ has came and he has saved us from sin and guilt. So if you have any other questions, please let me know. Like I said, I will be filming and then editing the lesson video. So I will hopefully, I will put it on YouTube. That way you can use the Apple TV and just watch it via YouTube. And that way you guys can also watch it at home before Sunday. Thanks so much.